Hey, John here. In this video we're going through Yngwis Magic Mirror, a great picking exercise we worked on inside my free practice room community. If you want to join us, the link's below. Let's get started. Hey, John here. So what you just heard was the instrumental interlude from Yngwis Magic Mirror. So it's just before the solo. I've always liked this one because it's quite melodic, even though it's fast as well. Very difficult to play, I find, still. And the reason for that is because it goes between so many different picking mechanics. We have single string picking, you have this inside picking thing, and then you have outside picking. I think it's a great thing to work on, because if you can get through this one, you're gonna be good to go with pretty much anything. Of course, this is not the fastest thing in the world, but that almost makes it harder because you really need to get every note right, because it will stick out like a really sore thumb otherwise. So with all that said, let's just start here with the first section, which is a single string one. So this is in D minor, and Yngwie tunes down, I don't. So never mind that. And another thing, another disclaimer here is that I'm not playing this exactly as Yngwie would do it. The notes are the same. I think 90% of the fingerings will be the same. I'm not 100% sure if he fingers the last run the same way that I do, because I haven't seen any live footage of this. So I can't really confirm that. But the notes are 100% there, but I think the difference here as well for me is that I alternate pick everything, and I know he uses some legato in certain spots, and which is not a bad thing at all. It's just that I find this one is a really good thing to develop your right hand alternate picking. So start here. So that's the first section, so the first out of 4. And what he's doing here is just basically jumping between that kind of deal, but from each starting note here, he adds this sequence. So it's important to get this right, because from this point we're going to go into the next pedal point lick. But if I just play it again quite slowly. All right, and after that we're going to go into this pedal point thing. That's the second section. And a pedal point can be one note that you go back and forth to, or it can be a group of notes. In this case, we have a group of notes. So we're going to repeat. So this is going to be 1, 7, 1 in the scale. So we go flat 3, 1, 7, 1, 4, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, 7, 1, flat 6, you guessed it, 1, 7, 1, and then we end up on the 5th here again. So this is all based on harmonic minor. So all alternate picked, and actually what I did here at the end, you want to make sure that you land on the 3rd finger here, and it's going to make sense once we get to the next section. So if we connect both sections, just like I said a second ago, you can do pedal points from one note as well, and that's what's going to happen in this section. So we're going to pedal from this note, the 18th fret, the flat 6 of the key, and then go down the scale like that. But since it's a pedal, every other note will be that note. So we're going to go 5, flat 6, 4, flat 6, flat 3, flat 6, 2, flat 6, 1, flat 6, 7. Once we reach this note, we're done. We don't go back again here. So we're going to be and from this note, we're going to go up in this 6-note thing. Very technical term, 6-note thing, but it leads us back up to this note again. So this thing in its entirety. And in this case, that's where you're gonna get the outside picking. So basically you're gonna get single string picking here, outside, right? So initially when I started working on this way back in the day, I used to do this, which is also fine, it's easier on the left hand, but it's quite difficult for the right hand because now you get, you have to cross strings 2 more times, right? So to minimize that, I stretch here instead. So I take this note, put it here, and then it's more manageable because, I mean, this is no one's idea of a good time when it comes to picking. All right, so from this point then, we have this classic descending thirds sequence. And if you bought my modal alternate picking book, which you should, then you're going to be familiar with the sequence. So just go down this shape. If you want to relate it to something that you might already know, if you think of a 3 note per string major scale from F, but you're gonna raise the note on the G string here, so the 17th fret is gonna go up to 18, and then it's gonna be basically the same shape except for the end here as well. So you're gonna see what I mean soon. If you just go through the scale shape itself, so the same frets on E and B string, and then we're gonna have the pinky here as well, and that's a good sort of anchor for you mentally, because then you know that the pinky is going to be on the same fret, the 18th fret, and then 15, 14, and then you have 17, 15, 14, and then 17, 16. Because we play this note, the 7th leads back into the root note. So Yngwie is really good about these resolutions, as you saw in the previous video that I did about I'll See the Light Tonight. So you can always count on Yngwie to do the musically strongest thing when it comes to this kind of classical type pieces. So basically descending thirds is just that. If we did it on one string, it would just look like this. Right, so we go down, we skip over one note, go back to the previous one, skip over one note, and so on. And the way that I finger this is 1, 3, 4 here. And here you have to do this, if you keep the fingering that I use. I mean, you don't have to, you could also go like that if you want, but really shouldn't be that much of an issue to do some barring here. So just keep going until you get down to the root note here again. So the way that I suggest that you practice this is in a few different ways. First off, make sure you know each section, of course. And then I would actually work on this separately for quite a bit, because they feel quite different, each of these sections, because of the different picking mechanics, right? So work on the single string first. And I would go that far and make sure to connect it with the next section. And you can apply all kinds of different practice techniques that I've talked about here on the channel before. And I'm gonna link to the playlist for all my practice tips, so you can check those out if you haven't done that already. So accents, for example, would be that you go through each note in the subdivision. So we have 16th notes here, so you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I would go through it again, but accenting the second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and 3 and 4. Another thing that's really helpful is to work with the transition time, especially with these fast shifts, because then you can get rid of that sliding feeling, right, or sound. So it really helps your overall synchronization as well. So you can do that, and then you just apply the same type of thing to Of course, you can also just loop this one, so because mechanically it's the same even when you stop on this note. Just make sure you work on that as well. So if you loop it, just go. Another effective thing you can apply to this one, for example, is to exaggerate the difficulty. And the easiest way to do that here, and to make something that would be more applicable to what you're playing, because you could always, exaggerate it by, oh, I'm just going to use my pinky, which would make it way more difficult, but also take it away from what you're actually trying to learn. But the easiest thing to do here is just to skip a string. So instead of going, take the same notes or the same frets and do it on the G string instead. So you get it, basically you need to be a bit quicker with the right hand. And this doesn't sound half bad either, so this would work in another context. So you can always find new ideas like that, but also, by exaggerating the difficulty, when you get back to, then it will feel easier, hopefully. For this pedal point line, this is a really good thing to practice. Do that, and also try it with a different rhythm. So if you do it with triplets instead, so I would go. So basically I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And that feels quite different, of course, but when you go back to the 16th notes, will feel way easier. So any kind of variation like that that makes it slightly different or slightly more difficult will really help your brain to get this down quicker. Because at the end of the day, it's the brain that sends the signals to the fingers, so it has not that much to do with your fingers. Yes, you need some strength, but it's very minimal compared to most other daily activities. So it's more about the control that you develop from sending the correct signals. And you build those signals not by sitting like that, because then that's what you're sending. Basically, that's what you're programming your brain to do, which is not great, in my opinion. So try to focus on accuracy, and then, of course, try it faster. You have to do that as well. But I think a lot of people get this sort of twisted. They sit there 90% trying it fast, 10% slow, and feel like, oh, slow practice doesn't work. But I can promise you, if you try 90% slow or slow-ish, or let's say 90% where your accuracy is super high, and then you spend 5 to 10% where you push it, your technique will develop much quicker and the results will be way better as well. So give it a try if you haven't had luck with this stuff before. And for the final run here, I feel it really helps to know where I'm at rhythmically. So I map out where my downbeats are. So it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And you can apply the same thing that we did here, where you accent each note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. But also, once you can see each individual beat, it can help even more to see every other beat. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you get these milestones. It doesn't feel as rushed as when you do every beat. So experiment with all that stuff, and just remember that you're playing your guitar with your ears and your brain, not so much with the fingers. And if you want to develop your ears, I highly suggest that you check out my course, Playing What You Hear. So what this course will enable you to do is for you to be able to listen to music and understand what you're hearing, and then also be able to find it on the fretboard. And of course, this won't happen overnight, and it's something you need to practice and keep practicing, but at least you have a clear path on how to get there. So it's not only an ear training course, it's also a way to view the fretboard, so you can find any interval wherever you're at, basically. So that's the key, because if you can only hear something but you can't find it on the instrument, then that's no good. But if you can't identify what you're actually hearing, then it doesn't really matter if you know all the scales on the fretboard either. So you need both things, and this course takes you through that with a daily practice routine that you can just do and then be done with that, and then over time you'll see how much your ear and fretboard knowledge just progresses from day to day and week to week. And also, I'm in the course the whole time, so if you have any questions, you can just post a question in the community section or just under a specific lesson, and I'll help you out as soon as possible. So I really want you to get this down, because I think it's one of the most important things when it comes to playing any instrument. And you can never have too good of an ear. So if you're interested in that stuff, you have a link in the description.